is stunned. I think most people are stunned. How impressive was that?
Hey guys, we back at Pink Square Circle. We will soon talk about Kris Statlander and her recently just win the AEW Women's Championship. We're going to talk more about it and get into the whole basis of her new era. Hey guys, we're back at the Pink Square Circle. We'll talk about Kris Statlander, newly won Women's Championship. We're talking about the excellence of Kris Statlander. Now, for guys you missed out, Kris Statlander just recently won the AEW Women's World Championship at AEW All Out, where she was in a four-way match to win the championship. With this win with Kris Statlander, she is now the only woman in AEW history to hold the AEW Women's Championship, and also that's not the only title she's held, but she's also previously held the AEW Women's TBS Championship. So this is a big thing for Kris Statlander. Now, her first title defense defending the AEW Women's Championship will be at this upcoming episode of Dynamite, where she go one-on-one against Mina Shirakawa, if I said her name correctly. We know that she is in ROH right now, Mira, and she's over there doing her thing. But Kris Statlander is a very great talent. I know she's been in AEW since the very beginning. I believe she got there in 2019. Now, she has some experience on the independent scene. She's also done a lot of intergender wrestling matches. She's not only wrestled just women, she's also wrestled men a lot on the independent scene. And we've seen her interact with men on AEW from time to time as well. But other than that, though, she has done great. I think she's one of the best women professional wrestlers in the game. Now, we could talk about Toni Storm. We could talk about Mercedes Moné. We could talk about others, Britt Baker, the history of AEW. But Kris Statlander is definitely one of the women that helped pave the way for AEW. She's considered one of the pillars, and now she has the opportunity, and she took advantage of it, and she won the AEW Women's Championship. Now, she won by pinning, actually, the former champion, Toni Storm. Not only did she win the four-way match alongside not just Toni, Jamie Hayter, and Thekla, she also pinned the champion. So that was nice that Toni was able to put Kris Statlander over and make her look good. But I know Kris recently spoke an interview about this before the championship match.
That blew my mind, Kris. I'm like, 4 years? It's been so long. And someone that's a day one AEW women's wrestler, you would think that you would have had more opportunities. I mean, how does it feel to not have a singles one-on-one match and you're going to have to take on three other try to win the championship?
I mean, it's gonna be tough, but I can use the other people as weapons, and I can steal their things for my advantage. So I feel like I could. There's different ways to finesse your way into a win. Even though I did lose my TBS title in a triple threat match, it doesn't mean anything. This is a four-way. This is totally different. Yes. So, I'm feeling good, actually. Surprisingly, I'm feeling rather excited.
Great. Of course, the other talking point coming into this pay-per-view is what exactly is going on with you and Willow Nightingale? Of course,
everyone's so nosy.
Immediately pointed out that you are their dream opponent. We just heard from Bailey and other people. When they come in, you seem to be the woman that people want to have a great match with. How does it feel to have like that kind of pressure and have that amount of people talking about want to have matches with you?
I mean, I always, I never really see myself the way other people see me. I always feel like I have so much to improve. I also don't know why everyone wants to fight me and hurt me. I don't know what I did to them to deserve that kind of reaction, but I am flattered that people think that I'm exciting to wrestle. But I also am sad that everyone wants to hurt me. So.
I mean, Kris Statlander rocks. That's why everybody wants to get in there. It's not that they want to fight you. They want to, experience what it is to be in the ring with you,
I guess there's so many ways to look at it, though.
We were talking a little bit about uncomfortable conversations. You've had a couple of uncomfortable conversations on screen with the former.
Everything she's saying without saying anything.
Yeah. I'm still blown away by the idea that it's been 4 years since you challenged for a world title.
Let's not rub it in.
Oh, of course not.
I
Don't want to rub it
was
in.
injured, and I was a TBS champion in the time. I wasn't just rolling around in the back doing nothing. I was busy.
Of course not. You had some excellent matches with Mercedes Moné, critically acclaimed matches. How'd you feel about just the reception to those matches?
It was very, very exciting because it felt like we both went into those matches kind of knowing that we had something to prove to ourselves and to the world, and the fact that we were able to pull it off and probably exceed expectations, it just really sometimes you don't necessarily feel like you're accomplishing some new big goal, but you're kind of like cementing yourself as like okay, I do know what I'm doing. I do deserve to be in this position type thing. And it was one of those very reassuring, at least the first one was super reassuring. And we were just like, okay, good. We got something good here. And then the second one was like, how do we top something that was already so well received and so exciting for people? And I think we did a pretty good job. And just knowing that we always have each other at some point to go and push each other to a limit before that we didn't reach before. I think that's always like a very comforting thing, knowing that we have that with each other.
Definitely.
All right, shout out to Grapsity. They did the interview there. That was Righteous Reg and Philip Lindsay. They interviewed Kris Statlander. That was right before the AEW Women's Championship match. Now, that's crazy. Not only, she was going in fight for that championship, there's also lots of women who do want to wrestle her. She's their dream opponent. We hear women AEW say they like Kris Statlander, like Mercedes Moné. Toni likes her, and also Bayley even mentions her. And if I had to guess, she, by her build and her style, we could somewhat consider her somewhat of similar to Bayley in WWE. Now, I'm not saying she's completely the AEW version of Bayley. Kris Statlander has her own style and everything, but she definitely is a great talent that won the championship. Now, I know she had a terrible injury back in, I want to say 2022. I think it was her MCL. I know she was out for a certain amount of time when she was under the alien character gimmick. But now she's back. She did win a TBS championship in 2023 Double or Nothing by defeating Jade Cargill, who was their inaugural TBS Women's Champion. And she held that belt for a little while. She had a storyline with Willow Nightingale where she turned heel for a little bit. And she went back to babyface. But other than that, she's good. I know she's been working very hard ever since she came back from an injury to get to this opportunity to become a women's champion. And now it's here. Like I say, all the time with wrestling, whether it's AEW, WWE, the women's division, tag team division, whatever, or men's wrestling, it all comes down to booking. I hope she's booked right as a proper, strong champion. Hopefully, Kris holds on to the belt for a good minute, longer than 3 months. I would say at least longer, a good 5-6 months she holds on to the belt, because it's been a while since we've seen a brand new AEW Women's Champion. The last person we saw win the championship that never won it before was Mariah May a couple years ago, and this is, with her storyline with Toni Storm, and now she's Blake Monroe in NXT. So Kris Statlander winning the championship is a fresh of breath air. I mean, a fresh it's a breath of fresh air. I meant to say, excuse me. So it's good that she won that championship. There's a lot of competitors that can challenge for it. We have Toni Storm try to get a rematch for that championship. You do have Thekla. You have Jamie Hayter. You could have Mercedes Moné. We can't forget about that. Her and Mercedes Moné have a history when, Kris Statlander was challenging Mercedes for her TBS championship, which she did not win. We can get a history with that. We also have a lot of women on the roster. You still have Sky Blue, Julia Hart, that could compete for a championship. You got Mira on this upcoming Dynamite. You have lots of women. You could throw Marina Shafir in there. There's a lot of women that could definitely compete against her. Will Nightingale, of course. I could see her being a challenger for the championship. I just hope that they don't, do her booking wrong and she has a very respectable run, because I could see Kris Statlander hold on to this belt to sometime middle of next year, possibly, if done right. If everything's booked right, there's no mishaps or anything, Kris stays healthy like she's been doing, I don't see why she can't have on a decent run with the championship. Definitely would make sense for that, but we got to see what's going to happen next. But once again, congratulations to Kris Statlander, and let's see how this run goes as AEW Women's Champion. But other than that, that's all I have for Kris Statlander, newly won AEW Women's Championship. We're talking about the excellence of Kris Statlander. You guys let me know what you think of her winning this championship. Click the link below to the next video. Until then, guys, I will see you guys later.